or welcome to my channel, or welcome back. For those who don't know, my name is Marley and I like to read. And if you do too, you should subscribe to this channel because I upload bookish videos every Tuesday and Thursday. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to do a pretty casual reading vlog for the week where I'm reading two of my anticipated releases. They're not necessarily very new anymore. I think they both came out in December 2020 and it's the next month now. Still, they were very highly anticipated for me, so I'm very excited to finally get to them. The first one is The Cousins by Karen M. Mcmanus. This was gifted to me by my friend Allie, so thank you to her. I discovered Karen M. Mcmanus last year when I read all of her previous books, so that's One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next, and Two Can Keep a Secret, and I really enjoyed those books. They're all like YA mystery thrillers, which is a genre I also discovered last year and just fell in love with, so I was really excited to get her newest release called The Cousins. And I'm just gonna read out the description because I'm not super familiar with it. So it says, Millie, Aubrey, and Jonah Story are cousins, but they barely know each other and they've never even met their grandmother. Rich and reclusive, she disinherited their parents before they were born, so when they each receive a letter inviting them to work at her island resort for the summer, they're surprised and curious. Their parents are unwavering on one point: not going is not an option. This could be their chance to get back into grandmother's good graces, but when the cousins arrive on the island, it's immediately clear that she has different plans for them, and the longer they stay, the more they realize how mysterious and dark their family's past is. Love that. That's a very vague premise, but I'm very interested to see what the heck's going on with their grandma. So the second book is Layla by Colleen Hoover. Last year, actually no, I guess now it's 2 years ago, I binged all of Colleen's books and I loved them, most of them. So very excited to read Layla. I've heard good things about it. People say it's weird, people say it's good. So basically it is a paranormal romance and it's about this woman named Layla and her partner, her boyfriend. They, are in love, and then she gets into some sort of accident and she is just never the same after that, like mentally. And so they go away together to try and like reconnect and everything, and she just starts acting weirder and weirder and he's not really sure what to do. So that sounds very intriguing. If I know Colleen Hoover, I know that she's very good at doing twists and turns in her books, especially in her latest book. Actually, it's not her latest book, but one of her recent books called Verity, which was so good. It was like a thriller romance. So I'm very excited to see what she has in store with this book this time. So yeah, let's see how it goes reading these books. Exciting news. I caught up on my YouTube subscriptions finally today. So yeah, finally up to date on the booktube videos, but I've been reading The Cousins. This is gonna be a pretty quick read for me. As you guys can see, it's like pretty short. I'm about 100 pages in now and I have a little bit of mixed feelings. I have really enjoyed getting to know the different characters that we have and just seeing the setup to the mystery. Just always love that. But I have found it to be a little bit confusing keeping track of all of the characters, as we do have the three main character cousins, but then we also have to remember who their parents are and remember like what characteristic each of their parents have, because it is kind of like interestingly enough, it is kind of like The Breakfast Club, which is what her other book One of Us is Lying was kind of based on, where like each of the parents has like a different quality. Like one was the jock, one was the beauty, one was smart, and then one was like a jokester. So we have that again, but it's just like keeping all of that in mind while I read is a little bit confusing. There is a family tree at the beginning, but so yeah, I just feel like there is kind of like a lot going on, but I'm sure as I continue it'll just get easier and easier to wrap my head around. In terms of theories, it's hard to have theories right now. There was one thing I had a theory about and then it kind of like got revealed, so don't really have any other ideas of what I think is going to happen. But I don't think this is a spoiler, but we did get a little flashback chapter, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of those with the parents. I always love a good flashback. everybody. So it's been a couple days, yeah, 2 days. I've been making a bit more progress on The Cousins. I'm gonna sit down and just finish it right now, but I wanted to say that my enjoyment of this book really went up since I last talked to you guys. I feel like I really got the characters down more as we heard more about them. The flashbacks definitely help that I mentioned before, where we get to see the parents when they were younger, and the mystery has definitely ramped up. I don't think it's super unpredictable or anything. Like, I feel like it's basically led us to essentially know what happened, just not all the details, but that doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying it. I still really like it, and I'm really curious to see what happens as we find out the details of what went down with why the grandma has disowned all of the parents and has no interest in knowing them. But yeah, so I'm really excited to just sit down and finish it now. It's Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, so perfect time to just read for the rest of the day. So I'm feeling very creeped out right now, but I'm gonna film and hopefully this will calm me down. But as you saw, I started reading Layla by Colleen Hoover, and that is the book that is currently creeping me out. But anyways, I'll just wrap up The Cousins. I ended up giving it 4 stars, which I think is potentially a higher rating than it deserves. I don't know, but I did really enjoy this one. I did think that aspects of the major twist slash reveal were guessable, but there was also a major part to it that I did not guess. It did not occur to me, so I really liked that. There were a couple other twists that happened earlier in the book that were pretty good as well. And I basically liked all of the main characters too, so I did think this was really enjoyable. I think if you liked Karen and Mcmanus's other books, then you would like this, but I think if you didn't like her other books, then you wouldn't like this. I think it is very similar to her other books in that they have characters that have a lot of similar tropes. I feel like her characters are very tropey, which, you know, honestly is fine if you go into it knowing that it's YA and it's gonna be a little cheesy. So nothing groundbreaking in this book, but it was definitely a very enjoyable YA mystery thriller, as we know on this channel that I love. So then I started reading the ebook of Layla, and that is the one that's really creeping me out right now. I need to just move in with my boyfriend already so I am never alone anymore, because when I'm home alone reading a scary book, it just makes me really scared. But as I said, it's a paranormal romance, and so far what we've seen is Leeds, which is the main guy character, and we're hearing from his point of view, and Layla. So we saw them meet and fall in love and have a really passionate start to their relationship, and then the accident that I mentioned earlier happened, which I won't mention for what it is for spoilers, but something really traumatic happens to Layla. So now she's just been very affected by that. She's been healing, and Leeds has been helping her heal and taking care of her, but she's still really dealing with that trauma. And so they go back to the place that they originally met, which was a bed and breakfast, which has now been, you guessed it, abandoned. So now they are living in this abandoned house for a couple weeks at least that they're staying there. Creepy things are starting to happen, paranormal things. I feel like most of the thriller creepy books I read are not paranormal. They're normally having to do with real people committing the crimes, which I find to be less scary. I still think those are scary because I'll feel like someone's gonna break into my house, but when it's a ghost, I just feel like that's even scarier. Obviously the concept of a spirit or a demon in your house is just more scary, obviously. So I'm getting pretty creeped out, but don't take my word too seriously. I'm sure most people would not be getting as scared as me, especially if you are around others, your family or your partners or whoever you live with. So yeah, I think that it's interesting, and as with all of Colleen Hoover's books, I feel like I could just fly through it. The writing is just so enjoyable to read. I will say one thing, that I don't really trust our main character who we are hearing from. I kind of almost feel like it's gonna be an unreliable narrator, but I'm not totally sure about that. It's just a vibe I have, because that is kind of a trope that I always is when we have an unreliable narrator or when the main character is evil. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think I'm really reaching with that prediction. It's just sort of as I said, a vibe that I have. But yeah, very good so far, and I'll keep you updated. Hopefully I finish this quick so I can be at peace again. Alright, so I just got to 76% of the way through Layla. Funny enough, as soon as I finished my update last night, something happened in the book that actually calmed my nerves and made it less scary. So there's that. But yeah, there definitely was a twist that made this book very weird. So I see why that's how everyone describes it, as being very weird. It's definitely not like any other book I've ever read before. So I'll say that it's pretty cool, but at the same time I really am getting frustrated as well with the story. I really am hating the main character, I'll just say. But we had another twist or reveal, and it is something that I have been suspecting, so I feel kind of like proud of myself for figuring that out. But that's at the same time, I guess it's like a little obvious, I don't know. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the book. I'm also frustrated with the characters, but like that's clearly on purpose. Like I don't think you're supposed to like these characters, and I'm definitely curious to know what is going to happen. But basically disregard what I said about being really creeped out, because honestly that was very dramatic, and it was just because it was like nighttime and there was some paranormal stuff happening. But like it's not actually a scary book. Like don't worry about that if you're gonna read it. Yeah, I would say it definitely has Verity vibes. Like if you've read Verity by Colleen Hoover, it definitely has some similar vibes, and I think if you liked that one, you would like this one too. But yeah, I really don't want to say any more details because I don't want to spoil, but definitely a weird book, but very interesting to read. Hello, so a bit more time has passed and I've officially finished Layla by Colleen Hoover. Guys, I gave this a 5-star on Goodreads just now, but I think I would give it 4.5 stars in actuality. But as you can tell from that rating, I really loved this book, which is not a shock from Colleen Hoover. She just has been killing it for me lately. So basically there was this other big twist that happened that I did not see coming. Now I'm not saying it's super shocking, like I can see how some people would maybe figure it out. Like maybe I'm dumb, but I didn't, and I thought it was such a great twist. I really loved it. I ended up loving a lot of the romantic elements in the book as well, so I would very much compare it to Verity because of that, the fact that it has good romance moments and good dark mysterious moments along with really good twists. So I am definitely not disappointed by this. This is why it was one of my most anticipated releases, because I knew it was going to be good. Yeah, if you are into paranormal romance, definitely check this out. I think if you're someone who reads a lot of romance or even a lot of thriller books, I think it has similar vibes to both of those genres where I feel like you would like it. So yeah, that makes it my favorite book of this vlog. Both books were not disappointments. I really loved both of them, but obviously I loved Layla more, and then The Cousins would be my second favorite. I'm not really sure what else to say. I think this is going to be a relatively short vlog for me, but I did only read 2 books, which is not that many. So if you guys have read these books, let me know what you think. Definitely make sure to follow me on Bookstagram as well. I have that linked in the description always. And please subscribe. I'm really close to 100 subscribers. I hopefully am already at that when I am uploading this. If I am, thank you so much for 100 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!